So, good morning, dear students. Welcome back. The continued concept on human health and diseases. So, already in this chapter, in later video classes, we have discussed about the what is the meaning of health, what is the meaning of diseases. In that two types of the diseases, as you know that infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases. So, in that two types, the first we are going to take a category like a infectious diseases. In the infectious diseases, it will be causes by the pathogens. Already you know that. There are type of the pathogens like a bacteria, viruses, fungal, protozoans and helminthes. These type of the pathogens will be causes the infection from person to the person. In those categories, we are already discussed about the bacterial diseases. In the bacterial disease, we have discussed the first disease is called as a typhoid, and the causative agent of typhoid Salmonella typhi, and the test which is confirmed by typhoid is called as a viral test. These are the important points I am going to discuss with you in the examination corner, how they are asked. And come to the second one, pneumonia. They are asking causative agent of pneumonia. As you know that Streptococcus pneumoniae, or it's also called as a Diplococcus pneumoniae or Haemophilus influenzae. Like this, three names are there based on the shapes of that bacteria. And after that, we discussed about the diphtheria. The diphtheria nothing but it is a complete throat infection, gantalamari, gantalano, like that they are going to say. So, diphtheria is causes by the, you must be remember that pathogen is called as a Corynebacterium diphtheriae. What is that? Corynebacterium diphtheriae. Like that, the another disease that is nothing but a plague. Plague is also caused by the bacteria. That bacterial name is Yersinia pestis. What is that? Yersinia pestis. Like this, we are discussed in previous classes. Then come dear students, today's class we discussed about the viral diseases. The viral diseases, viruses, these are also a microorganisms. In the viruses, here they are going to go, these are very small infectious agents. These are also infectious agents, viral infection. So, that's why in the viruses, there are three categories we are going to mentioning. That's based on the which type of the components they are having in that viruses one. Second one is that prions. Third one is that virions. Just I gives you introduction concept about the virus. Just simple as well. Viruses, next prions, next virions. In this way, what's this differentiation is going on in between these three? So, viruses are also a small infectious agent, then the prions are small infectious agent, then the virions are also become a small infectious agents. But what is the difference these three? Come to here. The differences are, viruses are having a genetic material like a DNA, RNA and one coating enveloped nothing but a circulated by a one coat that is having a protein. Then you must be remember, viruses are composed of proteins, DNA and RNA. Then prions are composed only of the proteins, not the DNA and RNA. I am going to say you why like that. And virions are related to the plant diseases. Prions are related to the animal diseases, but virions are related to the plant diseases. In that plant diseases, these virions is going to causes the one type of the disease, that disease related to the plants, that is we must remember as a CJD disease. CJD disease. CJD disease is nothing but a it is causes to the animals, that abbreviation of CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, that is slowly a brain damage is going on. Means the person is coming to the somewhat dementia conditions, brain damage, dementia, half memory loss. Like that is that amnesia and dementia is there. In that, this CJD disease will occurs by the virions only to the animals, but most of the virions are causes to the plant diseases. So that's why virions are having only for the DNA and RNA, but not the proteins. Like this comparison is going on in between these three aspects. That's why this is the small introduction concept about the virions, and then the prions, and then the virus, like this. Okay, then come the next point in this one, that is these are made up of a piece of genetic material such as DNA and RNA. Then you come across the what is the meaning of genetic material? What is that genetic? Here the genetic, if you split the genetic in this, there is the one word is coming. What is that word? Genes. What are these genes? Then I am going to give the some ideas about some bio-related molecules which are play a very important role from the birth of the baby to the end of the life. So those biological molecules, so those are nothing but a first one, genes, chromosomes, DNA and RNA. So that's why these are the three major important bio-related molecules play very role in our body. Then what are these genes? Genes are commonly called as a structural and functional units. So these are the structural and functional units. What is the main function of genes? Genes are carry the characters from one generation to the another generation. That's one generation is nothing but a parents, another generation is nothing but a offsprings or children. I am going to say you, so my characters are belongs to my parents. Are you agreed? Correct. How these are inherited? These are inherited by the genes. Genes play a very important role in our body. There is the one project is there, HGP, Human Genome Project. You are going to study it later on. Okay, so come to here, genes play a very important role in the carry the characters. And another molecule I am going to say you, that is nothing but a chromosomes. Chromosomes, split the word chroma and zomes. Chroma nothing but a color, thread-like bodies. So coloring agents. Zoma nothing but a bodies. Color bodies which are present situated in the nucleus during the cell divisions. If the cell will going to start dividing by the processes, mechanism like a mitosis and meiosis. See, if you go back and back, you must think how these are formed in our body. So that's why, if the mitosis, meiosis, there are 4 phases, there are 8 phases. If these are completed, then the thread-like structures are formed completely to form as a spherical structures like a coiled structures. Those coiled structures are nothing but a next molecule. What is that? DNA. So that's why chromosomes are color bodies, and these are responsible for the sex of an individuals. How the sex? What are the sexual aspects about the chromosomes? Representation. How you representation chromosomes based on the sexes? There are 2 types of sexes. One is that male, another one is that female. But representation, the XX is related to the female conditions, and XY is related to the male sexual representation through the chromosomes. So that's it. The Y chromosome is responsible for the male characters, okay, and XX is responsible for the female characters. Like this, chromosomes are, we are going to take a information by the sexes. Then come to the next one, DNA. DNA is nothing but a genetic material. How you say DNA is a genetic material? So only one aspect, that's why the DNA will be transferred from cell to cell. What is that? Cell to cell. One cell is there and it will be directly transferred to the another cell, not into the coat, not into the supernatant conditions of the cells. It directly enter into the nucleus. If it is enter into the nucleus, then it's called as a genetic material. Like that, so many experiments are there in our biology. There is a Hershey and Chase experiments are there. He will be making an example as a bacteriophage examples by showing the DNA as a genetic material. And Frederick and Griffith experiment is there. He will be going to mention as a bacteria Streptococcus pneumonia bacteria. So by taking those examples, he will be show how DNA will be transferred from cell to cell. So every experiments are there. He is going to take the examples as a mice, how it will be transferred from one mice to the another mice cell. Like that, so many examples we are going to prove that the DNA acts as a genetic materials. So based on that way, we are going to say it's a piece of genetic material such as DNA and RNA. Then comes to the next one. These all viruses, diseases are not a contagious. Not a contagious. Then what is the meaning of contagious? Contagious meaning spreading. What is that? Spread. Contagious. Not always spread from person to person. We are not going to think all viruses are spread from disease to all person to the person. No, nothing like that. In that, some viruses are not acts as an contagious, but major viruses are acts as an contagious, meaning spreading from one person to the another person. The next. Contagious viral diseases like, what are those diseases which are spread from one person to the another person? Best example, flu, next cold, next HIV, next herpes viruses. That is, herpes viruses are there, HIV is there, cold is there, flu is there. These are spread from one person to the another person. That's why these are called as a contagious diseases. Contagious, as you know that HIV, human immunovirus, and herpes simplex viruses are there. These causes the disease like a herpes. Best example, genital herpes. Where you heard this disease? Genital herpes. Genital herpes is commonly called as a STD. What is STD, sir? STD is nothing but a sexual transmitted diseases, or it's also called as a reproductive tract infectious diseases, or it's also called as a venereal diseases. See the words, these different words must be concentrated on those aspects, because in the examinations they are not asking directly STD. They are going to ask as a RTI, reproductive tract or venereal diseases. That time you are getting the confusing. Oh sir, this is not in our syllabus, like that. So that's why dear students must remember the other names of those diseases or any other definitions. Okay. Then cold, HIV, herpes. These are all spreading from one person to the another person. Okay. These also spread by bite of an infected insects. Just think about, I told you na, it is from always not from person to person, it's also coming from the insect. If any insect infected by any virus, when it going to bite to us, it inserted that virus into our bloodstream. Then it goes to our body. Then we are going to get the infection. So like this aspects is also infected by this viral diseases. Then come dear students, today we are going to discuss in the viral diseases first category is respiratory diseases. These respiratory diseases applicable to the respiratory systems. Means in respiratory system, what are the organs are there, what are the parts are there, they are become affected. So those aspects we are called as a respiratory related diseases. In that, the best example, one common example, that's we call it is a flu. So flu and common cold almost are similar, but in severe condition, flu is the play very important role than the common colds. Common colds, no problems, we are going to take the remedies. Already we know that it is occurs in any seasons, but not like that a flu. Flu is almost all occurs in a one season, in early springs. It occurs by season, as a early spring seasons. As you know that rainy season will be started or some autumn season will be started. That time the persons are having some abnormal condition in the respiratory systems. So that time this type of the virus will be releases, and that infected virus, pathogen, that is we know that influenza virus. Influenza viruses are nothing but causes the flu. These are common viruses because influenza, these are related to the humans. These are sometimes causes the different concept also. That's you know that pneumonia, Haemophilus influenzae, it is in severe cases. Commonly these viruses are related to the influenza family. So that's why influenza viruses are causes the this type one is the flu, and you also best example is that swine flu, which is related to the swine bird. So then come next one, the method of transmission. How these are transmitted? The method of transmission is common for everything, for cold also, for flu also, by sneezing, by coughing, or by contacting. That's we call it as a mere touch. So that also we are going to get these ones. And by sneezing, coughing, mere touch, these are all nothing but a method of transmissions. So next, what are those symptoms? How we going to know I am suffering from the flu? Then you must remember, we concentrate towards the symptoms. What are those symptoms? First one, runny nose. We are called it as running nose. Not nose is going to run. Runny nose. The sputum, the gelatinous substance which is present in the nose, that will come into the continuously. If it is coming to the continuously, the condition is that almost all we are suffering from infections. Nose infection is going on. After nose, running nose, then immediately we are going to start the coughing. If continuous coughing, then it is infected to the tracheal region. Trachea, this throat is becoming dry. That's why it is called as a sore throat. If dryness is going on, means dry cough, automatically it will be K. Continuously coughing, sneezing, and the sputum will going outside continuously, then automatically what's coming? Body ache, muscle pain. If muscle pain occurs, then it related to the fever, body temperature is increases. If body temperature goes on, increases, then already you are going to study to students, that will be related to the typhoid fever or pneumonia. See the aspects how we are. If it is going to upgrade it, the small disease also becoming very dangerous. That's why the only one concept is that we must have the hydrated body, immunity related body. If we are strong, fit in almost all externally, internally, then no any other viruses are going to store more days. Like that, the common cold viruses are 3 to 7 days. That's almost all period. Up to that it will be stay in our temperature, now in our body. It will be recovered again. If it is not recovered, again and again fever will going to come, means then it going to attack to the typhoid or pneumonia aspects. Like that, running nose, coughing, sneezing, body aches. But in severe cases, what happens? I already told you why flu is dominant than the common cold. This is the main reason. It goes to the occurs to the sinusitis. What is that sinusitis? You already heard the name kapha. That one is that almost all is present, that gelatinous substance, hard substance, which is accumulated in these areas. the upper part of the nasal chamber. If nasal chamber is there, means upper part here, in that there is the almost all that gelatinous substance will be gathered there only. Then it going to accumulate it and causes the more pain. That is we call it as a sinusitis. So after that ear infections are going on. Next, I am going to told you pneumonia, and another one is that sepsis. What is that sepsis? Sepsis, it will be gathered by the other diseases, other symptoms like a fever, weakness, nothing but tiredness. Next, rapid heart rate and rapid breathing rate. If like this will be upgraded, that common disease we call it is a, what is that? Sepsis. That's very dear student. This is the new word. Must be remember what is that sepsis. Sepsis is nothing but almost all. It is the combination of the fever, tiredness, rapid heart rate, rapid breathing rates. Like this type of the symptoms will be occurred in severe cases if you are not going to take the treatments. Okay. Then come next one. We finally goes to the treatment. What are those treatments? As you know that few. Now present era, present situation, we are going to have the one such a problematic things in our society. That's you know that COVID-19. What are the remedial measures for the COVID-19? That is we know that stay home, stay safe. That is one slogan will be going to formation takes place. That is the stay home, stay safe. But how to save? How to stay in home? That should be based on the some aspect. Staying hydrated. Must be staying hydrated. What is the meaning of hydrated? You are not always becoming warm. You must be take a hydrated meaning is that plenty of water. If you drink plenty of water, almost all 3 to 4 liters, maximum 5 liters is required, no problem. But up to the 3 to 4 liter means it's good condition for hygienic healthy. So that's why always hydrated. If plenty of water is become almost all a main remedy for the more diseases. That's why you drink as a clean drinking water, not a cold water. As a freezing water we are going to say it's not a good freezing water. If you making as a warm water, hot water, then it is good for the health conditions everywhere. Okay. Next one is that plenty of rest. We must, that's the very important one is that. If once viral infection we are going to get, we must be take the rest. Plenty of rest. And finally, if it is not recovered by the home remedies, then we go for the medical treatment. That's nothing but the drugs. They are going to give the antibiotic drugs. Those are high energy drugs. They are going to recover quickly. But that's it. The drugs are also very helpful as a tablets, capsules, syrups. Those are related to the flu. Those drugs also play a very important role in the prevention of this type of the flu. Okay, dear students, you got point. So today's class we are going to discuss about the viral diseases like a flu. In next class we are discussing about the other viral diseases. Okay, thank you.